If you like the movies or film festivals, you need to get acquainted with the St. Louis Jewish Film Festival. At its heart, the St. Louis Jewish Film Festival is about bringing people together across generations, neighborhoods, and perspectives to experience powerful stories that remind us of who we are and what we share. Next on St. Louis in Tune. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for fresh perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who make a difference in shaping our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with co-host Mark Langston. Greetings to you, Mark.
Howdy. Greetings.
Minnie Pearl, howdy.
How do? What?
But you don't have a price tag hanging from your headphones.
Oh, I know. Minnie Pearl.
Right.
Was that who did it?
Right.
Minnie Pearl. Howdy. Okay, I remember that now.
Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see you, but good to be seen.
It is right. And we are glad that you've joined us today, folks. We can't see you, but we can give you information. And we want to thank our sponsor, Better Rate Mortgage, for their support of the show. You can listen to previous shows at stlintune.com, where you can follow us and even leave a review. Our thought to ponder today is kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Mark Twain.
Oh, yeah. Hannibal guy.
Very interesting perspectives. Kindness goes a long way.
Oh, boy, we could use more of it.
We can.
I don't mean to sound preachy, but...
No, you can preach kindness all day long.
Come on,
we
love thy
need
neighbor.
A little bit more of that, especially on the roads.
Yes.
I'm talking to myself, too, sometimes there.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That happens when you get older, Arnold. You talk to yourself. You walk in a room, you forget why you came into that room.
Who are you?
What was I doing here?
The person sitting across from me, we know who he is. He's John Wilson, Cultural Arts Director at the Jewish Community Center, and he's here to give us the latest lowdown on the St. Louis Jewish Film Festival, which is returning March the 15th to the 26th, and it will be at the B&B Theaters in Creve Coeur. 6 days. John, welcome back to St. Louis in Tune.
Thank you so much, and thank you for that sparse applause.
Yeah, that's sparse, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the pistachio gallery.
Hoping for the standing O, but I guess I got to earn that.
Come on, guys, let's pick it up here.
All right.
There they go.
Thank you. Hey, happy to be here. Don't forget to tip your waiter. I'll be here
And your bartenders.
for the next half hour.
So more than movies, give us a little lowdown on the Jewish Film Festival just to start, and then we'll get into, because the series that you have here is just crazy unbelievable.
Yeah, it is really good this year. And this is our 31st year doing.
Wow. That was one of my questions.
Wow.
How many years? 31 years.
31 years.
How long have you been doing it?
I've only been doing it for 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I came in January of 2023. And I just fell in love with it right away. And what you said, even in your preview, it is more than movies. That's our tagline this year. But it's really about connecting people and getting people out of their homes and getting them into one space and watching some incredible cinema together and feeling all the feels and having the conversations and really feel like you're at a place of connection and belonging, and that to me is what the festival is always about. It's like the movies are great, and we try and provide like fantastic movies from every genre, but it's really about who you're sitting next to. And if you came with a friend, you came by yourself, you meet a stranger, you're with your family, whatever it is. But it is a chance to like communally take in any given story and then leave with something on your heart that you want to share.
And it's just not films, because you have people come in and do some talks. There's even a group going to do a performance before one of these shows.
That was Sugihara, which was our festival preview event.
Okay.
And that was in late February.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we missed that one.
Yeah, we missed that one. But we had the Asua Taiko drumming group come in and rattle our bones in this like 10-minute performance. It was so cool. Wow. If you wanted to make sure like your eardrums and your heart valves were all working, you had every opportunity to feel them all working.
I have to turn my hearing aids off.
It was awesome. It was so good.
But there's people that come in and they do talk about the films. Are these like director types? Are these editors, or who are they?
Yeah, for our opening day, we're doing this really amazing documentary called For the Living, and they do this whole large umbrella 30,000-foot view on dehumanization and genocide throughout the ages, through just all these multiple eras. And then they start to narrow that down to the Holocaust, and then they start following this one particular story of a Holocaust survivor who walked from Auschwitz to Krakow, and that has become a commemorative bike ride.
Right.
And then the story switches to that bike ride and the people that participate in it. And so the executive director of that film, as well as the writer and co-director, are coming, and so they're going to talk about that in a live Q&A.
Interesting.
Afterwards.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, is it a Q&A or is it just a lecture kind of thing?
It'll be very interactive. They might say a few words in the beginning, but we'll quickly get to questions because this will be post-film, and people will want to ask them all sorts of stuff.
Let's get into I guess what I would call all of the details and the festival experience and the lineup that you have. That's the word I was looking for, the lineup that you have. You start out, Sunday, March the 15th with this For the Living, which is the one you were talking about.
Right, yeah. Really fantastic. Our opening day always comes with a reception as well in between both films. So you could come early in the 5 o'clock hour to the reception and stay for Nuremberg. You could come For the Living and stay for the reception. And obviously, we want people to spend the day with us, come to both, and get fueled up with the reception between those films. Yeah, opening day is always a really exciting way to kick off. And Nuremberg being our 7 p.m. feature, that did play in St. Louis. Huge blockbuster film with Russell Crowe and so many other stars. But our unofficial polling, we just found out that a lot of people ended up missing it. And even though it's available online, I have to encourage people, this is not a film you want to watch on your television as far as the impact of it. We're going to be in the grand screen, that 195-seat theater that has a screen that is as far as the east is from the west. It's just this thing is huge, and it is such an amazing experience watching film on that screen. And Nuremberg's going to play amazing on that.
Yeah, I was going to say, sometimes films are meant to be seen on the big screen.
Oh, yeah. I missed that Nuremberg, too. Be a good one to see.
I did, too. Yeah.
See? There you go.
Yeah.
So Sunday, March 15th, you got the For the Living at 3 p.m., and then at 7 p.m., you have Nuremberg, and that's From Remembrance to Reckoning. And then Tuesday, and I like the way you do this, and you explained this, I think, last time, that sometimes it was just bombarded with films all in one day, and now you're doing 2 and giving a little breather in between because people can only absorb so much.
Right.
So let's talk about Tuesday. Bearing Witness and Choosing Courage is the theme.
Yeah, and just even from the thematic standpoint, that's really been something that has developed over the last couple of years, where we try and categorize certain days to be a certain theme. And that's just been fun to put that kind of stuff together. But with Bearing Witness, Choosing Courage, we start with the Elie Wiesel film, Soul on Fire, looking at his career as an outspoken Holocaust survivor, his activism. But this takes you behind the scenes, and it's just a really, you learn stuff about him that none of us really ever knew. And a lot of it is narrated by him from the book that he wrote and just other interviews and things like that. You hear his voice throughout the film. And afterwards, we've got Professor Aaron McLaughlin from WashU, who's a Holocaust studies professor, an expert. And she says, if you blink, you'll miss me, but she actually has a small moment in the film itself. So she's very familiar with this particular film. And so she's going to talk to us afterwards.
Mark, I want to insert a comment here that when we were in high school, there were many of our classmates whose parents were Holocaust survivors.
Yeah.
And whose grandparents were Holocaust survivors. And I never really realized that. I never really wrapped my brain around that. But obviously they lived that, and every day and that was something that they didn't mention, but it was something that was a part of who they were.
Yeah. University City we're from, which has a large Jewish population. My dad was in World War II, and he would talk about it, and he had photographs from it that were just, and I still have them, they're terrible. Just terrible what happened then. Hope we never repeat it. Sometimes I worry about that, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we never had, I had so many Jewish friends. They would walk to temple on Saturdays.
Right.
And it was just like, it was the culture that was there with us as we grew up. But never, like you say, Arnold, never really plugged into what had happened. And it wasn't that long ago when we were young like that. It was like 20 years ago, maybe 30 at the most. So really it still hasn't been that long ago.
No.
So, yeah, it's amazing how, I guess when you're young and you haven't experienced it, people just don't get it. They don't understand that happened.
I think age also has a way of bringing a perspective on history and the impact that it has on our lives. We didn't experience back then because executive function hadn't kicked in yet.
And this festival is so great because it does attack some of the Nazism and stuff that was happening in a good way. Lets us understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
The other thing that it does is it really challenges us in every generation. When you watch a film and you see the courage of the people that decided to protect Jewish people and at what cost and sacrifices they had to make to do that, it absolutely just suddenly turns the mirror right back on you. And you have to ask yourself, what would I have done in a situation like that? And would I have been that bold? And to your point, Mark, will I be that bold if something like this starts to happen again? And that's made me think of Frontier, which is our 7 p.m. film on that Tuesday in the Bearing Witness Choosing Courage Day. And Frontier is about this small town on the border of Spain and France, and how people in Spain were watching Jews fleeing France and crossing at their border, and the Nazis started to close in and start to understand that there could be some Jews hiding in this area, and just what the people of that town were doing to keep them safe and to keep them hidden. It's a remarkable film.
And that's an interesting comment that John makes, because we all know about Schindler's List. And we also did a show on, the name escapes me right now, but she was a nurse in Poland, and she helped children out of the country one by one, and was unknown. And then you have this frontier where people fleeing from Spain into Spain, from Spain and France. You have the initial one where the Japanese ambassador was signing visas for people coming out of Russia to come to Japan. You don't hear about those particular things, and those are the things that, that particular gentleman, I saw that preview, he saved. There are 40,000 people who are alive today because of what he did. And that is just crazy.
Choosing courage.
Yes.
It really is. Choosing courage.
It is.
Hard thing to do.
And I know I've only been doing it for 3 years, but I am amazed when I'm watching films that ultimately were curating these final 12. I'm amazed at the stories that I hear that I never knew. And it happens even in the films that we don't choose. There's a lot of great film we have to leave on the floor because we just really only have room for 12. And every single year, I am watching and hearing stories that I had no clue about different people's heroism, or just history is such a multifaceted diamond. And there are just every time I turn that part of history in front of me through film, I'm learning just a multiplicity of facts in that historical genre that I never knew, and it's just fascinating.
That's one reason, folks, you need to attend this Jewish Film Festival. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. We're talking to John Wilson. He's, John, what's your title again?
Senior Director of Cultural Arts.
Senior Director of Cultural Arts.
He doesn't look like a senior to me, but that's all right, John.
Hey, I appreciate that.
At the Jewish Community Center. And the Jewish Film Festival is March the 15th to the 26th. And, John, where can people get tickets? We're going to keep going, but where can people get tickets?
Yeah, so you can get them online super easily at stljewishfilmfestival.org. You can also call our box office at 314-442-3179, and Alex, our box office manager, will take care of you.
Okay, very good. We'll repeat that throughout the show. Irina Sendler, She's the one who saved 2,500 Jewish children during the Holocaust.
Good for
we did
you.
an interview
Yeah.
about her story.
I noticed that quite a few of these films are in other languages and then made into English or
Listen, that is very common. Our St. Louis Jewish Film Festival is an international film festival. I would say that often half, sometimes even more than half, of our films are coming from other countries and are in foreign languages with English subtitles. We try and strike a really good balance that. And I think this year it's actually 50%. Mm-hmm. We've got 50% English and 50% foreign film.
And I think more people are, at least I like subtitles. Just even in English.
I turn them on
especially
all the
Brits.
I know.
You know, my hearing.
As you get older, it's better. You understand.
I want to be able to understand what they're saying.
I know, and I do. I use subtitles a lot lately, too. And I know a lot of young folks that do.
That's because they've blown their ears out with their earbuds.
That's it, okay. Here we go.
That's right.
It's a whole other show.
That's true.
That's right. They don't know anything.
So, Women Under the Reich,
yes.
Thursday, March 19th.
Yes. So we've got two amazing films, and I'm going to pivot to the 7 p.m. film Vindicta and talk about that first, because what's not in our brochure but is on our website is Vindicta is actually being shown twice, and on Wednesday, March 18th, it's premiering at the Alamo Drafthouse. So it's been my ambition to try and expand the Jewish Film Festival into other communities, increase our footprint. And so we're really trying to get our Midtown neighbors who I think understandably sometimes don't want to drive all the way out to Creve Coeur, especially for an evening film, and then have to drive back home. So I'm dipping my toe into the waters of expansion, and we're going to do Vindicta at the Alamo Drafthouse on the 18th, a 7 p.m. film, and just really hoping that we will get not only our Jewish community that's embedded there, but, as always, our non-Jewish community. It's like we're very eclectic in that regard. And this is the film to do it with. So Vindicta it hasn't been released anywhere yet. It's not streaming. It hasn't made any kind of premiere. It's only being a limited release to certain festivals. And so we got a hold of it. And this is a collection. There were women who went rogue and tried to do everything they could to resist the Nazis and even bring a little bit of harm and destruction on their own, whether that was first in self-defense and then it became an offense. And so a lot of the stories have been collected into this single narrative of this woman. So it's based on a number of true stories, but the narrative is about this woman who single-handedly by herself starts to isolate Nazis in her community one-on-one and take them out. And it's like Laura Croft.
Wow.
Laura Croft meets the Nazis. And
love it.
It's cool. It's probably our most, when I say bloody film, I don't want to scare anyone away. It's not so graphic that you have to look away, but it's got some realism to it and some psychological realism, too. It's like sometimes you're not sure you're completely on her side because she's also filled with a lot of rage because of an experience that she has at the beginning of the film that kind of sends her in this direction. So that's the Midtown film on the 18th, and then we'll take a second look at it on the 19th with the 7 p.m. film showing of Vindicta in our Women Under the Reich. But at 3 p.m., I don't know if you guys ever knew this. This is based on absolute truth. The Tasters. Hitler had a hideout in the woods. He moved around, and in one of the areas in which he was hiding and encamped, they took women from the nearby village and forced them to be food tasters for him, because the one thing Hitler was incredibly paranoid about was being poisoned, that someone would come against him. And so he always had people tasting his food first. And so this is a story about the women.
What a sick puppy.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
and so that's like one, like I said earlier, one of those stories like I had no idea.
Right.
And it is so well written and directed and acted, and the intrigue that exists between the women themselves and the relationships that the women have with their Nazi guards. And it's so good.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to mention, you don't have to be Jewish to go to the St. Louis Jewish
No, you
Film
don't.
Festival.
No, you just have to be human. You have to be human and breathing and want to learn about amazing stuff.
Just putting that out there, folks.
Yeah.
Go figure, yeah.
Just putting that out there. Gosh, okay. And we move to Sunday, March the 22nd, where you have Love, Legacy, and Moral Choice. I love these titles because what it does is and you mentioned this, John, it's making people look in the mirror of where an individual is at the time where they're confronted with this information. Now, what do you do? If you were in this situation, what would you do? And you may get into a situation similar. What are you going to do? And because we don't think this will never happen to us. We live in the United States of America. We live in the middle of the country. Nothing's ever going to happen here.
Wrong.
Yeah, this first film on Sunday, March 22nd at 3 p.m., The Pianist's Choice, this is just, okay, so artistically, this is like a beautiful film. This is so well done. The music in this film is just gorgeous. But the basic plot line is that a young Gentile boy is learning piano from a Jewish piano teacher. And 10, 12 years later, this is like in the late 20s, early 30s, and then he grows up and continues studying with her, and they fall in love just as World War II is breaking out. And so now they're romantically involved, and he's a Gentile, she's a Jew, and he has to navigate as he learns like everything that's happening. Now from a Gentile perspective, he has to like totally find out what's his level of investment, because this is the love of his life. What is he willing to do and willing to give? And so, yeah, it's an amazing story. I will use a hyperbole for every single film that we have that we talk about. I will say that it's wonderful, it's amazing, never before seen. Just because we watch 75 to 80 films to come up with the 12 films that are in our film festival. So if you ask me, yeah, but which one's the best, or which one, if I can only see one, what should I see? Like, why are you seeing one? Don't be dumb. Like, come
see them all.
See them all. Because they're just so good.
Is that which kid is your favorite?
No, that I can't answer.
Oh, great.
No,
okay.
I'm kidding.
On their birthday, he answers that. You're my favorite today.
Today.
But we finally start to lighten some things up. So we've had some pretty heavy choices as we move through. As we get into the second week, we do start to lighten it up, and I think that's also important. So our 7 p.m. film on Sunday, The Ring, it's a film from Israel. It's in Hebrew with English subtitles. Adir Miller, very famous comedian and actor in Israel. He wrote, directed, and stars in this film.
Wow.
And the basic plot line is that this main character's grandmother gave away a ring as kind of collateral to save her life during the war. And now his daughter is off looking for
the
it.
ring.
Yeah, for the ring. And they're a bit estranged, and so it's about how they come together. And so a few flashbacks into that World War II era, but a much more contemporary film. And so that's and it's fun. It's funny as well. It's got some nice, lighthearted moments.
Now let's remind people again, John, how they can get tickets.
Yeah, online we're at stlJewishFilmFestival.org. And then 314-442-3179. And let me mention, at this juncture, Arnold and Mark, we have an all-festival pass. And the all-festival pass covers all 12 films, and even the 13th film, the second showing of Vindicta at Alamo. If you have the all-festival pass, you're saving like $110, $120 over if you had bought these tickets individual. Our individual ticket prices went from $15 to $16, but our all-festival pass stayed the same price as last year. So a phenomenal deal, the all-festival pass. Plus, this year, we created the St. Louis Jewish Film Festival passport, and it's like legit. It looks and feels like a real passport. It's got that blue alligator skin cover. We've got an all festival or a festival passport stamp, so you can get your pages stamped with each film that you see. It walks you through and asks you questions about the kind of film goer you are, and then on each page you can be a critic, you can rate it, you can talk about your favorite moment, who you saw it with, what affected you the most. There's a place where you could get signatures from our guest speakers if you want to get an autograph, and if you buy the all festival pass, you get the passport for free. So it's like a really good deal.
Cool.
So I'm super excited to launch that this year. It's this interactive keepsake that we've created for the film festival.
Okay, St. Louis Jewish Filmfestival.org, 314-442-3179. Also, jccstl.com, and just follow through there.
Yeah,
and you
go
can
to our
right there.
arts and culture page, and then just start looking for the film festival.
Okay. Family, Faith, and Finding Yourself. This is on Tuesday, March the 24th.
Yeah, we kicked this off with Ethan Bloom, a brand new film starring Joshua Molina. And Joshua Molina was at our St. Louis Book Festival and Speaker Series in November. So he was here live in St. Louis, just talking about what it's like being Jewish in Hollywood and just in the industry. And then at the time he was here, we, in our little film festival committee, we were watching Ethan Bloom. And so I was like, this is really fun. And I actually had Joshua Molina, while he was here, record an Instagram video for us. I told him, so we haven't actually chosen your film yet, but
this will help.
We're leaning in that direction. And he was so nice. He filmed one reel where he's talking about Ethan Bloom, and then he even did a second reel, like just supporting the film festival in general.
That's nice.
I was like, that was really nice. He was willing to do that. But we ultimately did choose it. It's a really fun family film, and it's basically about a young Jewish boy who's about to have his bar mitzvah and is secretly taking Catholic confirmation classes.
All right, now you're talking.
And just
like that.
the conflict
on his basis there.
Yeah. So super cute, really fun movie.
It's hilarious.
And then Once Upon My Mother is our 7 p.m. feature that night. That's out of France. And this is a true story about this baby who was born with a club foot, and the mother who was determined that he get mainstream. She was going to find a way for him to receive healing, and she tried everything imaginable. And it's a truth. She said that the very first day you ever go to school, you won't go until you can walk to school. And so she was absolutely determined to give him a quote unquote normal life. A story just about the love of a mother for her child, and at the lengths to which someone will go to sacrifice their wealth and their time and everything, their health, just to make sure their children have the best life possible. Wow. Beautiful story, and very funny. The mother is a riot. She's really funny. That's a very uplifting film.
We've got more to go to, but let's take a quick break. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. Don't go away, because we have more of the St. Louis Jewish Film Festival.
As strange as it may sound, at Better Rate Mortgage, we love talking to people about mortgages. Everyone in St. Louis promises a better mortgage rate, but what you really need to turn that perfect house into your dream home is a better mortgage. At Better Rate Mortgage, we open the door to so much more. So where are you in the home buying process? Researching? Maybe wondering how much you can afford? House hunting? Get a pre-approval from Better Rate Mortgage. Ready to buy? Our team is ready to make your mortgage process fast and easy. Whether you're purchasing your first home or taking cash out to make your dream home even dreamier, our door is open. Come on in and get started today. We'll show you how. Call Sean directly at 314-375-3293 or online at betterratemortgage.com. Remember, at Better Rate Mortgage, a better rate is just the beginning. betterratemortgage.com. NMLS ID 401335, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston. We're talking to John Wilson about the Jewish Film Festival here in St. Louis, and I want to give you some information, folks. Go to stljewishfilmfestival.org, or you can go to jccstl.com and get information. Or the box office is 314-442-3179. This is a film festival that you do not want to miss. And we're kicking back off here with Love, Loss, and Connection on Thursday, March 26th.
So this is the last day of our film festival. We've seen all the sights. We've done all the things. We've felt all the feels. And now we're going to bring it home with two of my favorite films. Both of these are just so delightful. Love, statistically speaking, at 3 p.m., is a film from Israel, and it's about an actuary who, his wife passes away, and he has spent his whole life statistically predicting all these different things about just the human experience and how that leverages his own business and being an actuary and everything. And he starts to try and calculate, well, my wife did not die the way that I had predicted. And so now he's trying to figure out how much time he has left. But during this process, not only did he just lose his wife, he also loses all of her insurance money. And so his granddaughter shows up and she's, Dad, like, some of that money was coming to me and I need that money. And what do you think happened? And they start to investigate everyone who is at this community center that they had belonged to. And they become like Laurel and Hardy, the two of them. And then all of these people that become these random suspects in their life. The whole thing is so ridiculous and really funny. And it's also heartwarming because, once again, we have this estranged relationship between grandfather and granddaughter, and we just get to see them find their way as well.
That's something that happens a lot in families, is an estrangement for some reason, whether it's somebody didn't do something that was expected or did do something that was unexpected. And that's where it goes back to kindness goes a long way. And forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the other person, folks. It's for you.
Oh, yeah.
It's for you to let go, and you're not bound by chains of what that other person did to you.
It's hard sometimes. I won't kid
Absolutely.
you. It is. I know. It's a challenge sometimes, too.
But
you're right.
Estrangement is...
It's terrible.
It's horrible. I've experienced that. My parents, I'm not going to mention, they're both gone, so it doesn't matter. My mother and her immediate family, her brother, and what happened with their mother and other things that went on, and the support of who you're going to support. You're going to support the family, or you're going to support somebody who's outside the family, and what that does to a family. And I know I'm telling tales out of family here, but they're all gone.
That's all right, I get it. It's tough.
And people, I think nowadays there's even worse things that happen.
Oh, yeah. And, throwing the family under the bus. Family is important. Everybody counts or nobody counts. Family counts a little more.
And I'll throw something else in, is that people say your spouse is important, your kids are important, your parents are important. The people that you have spent the most time with in your life are your siblings.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's important to be close to your siblings, too.
I know it. Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw that in, as you mentioned that, with family dynamics and, the finally getting back together. And so Love, Loss, and Connection, that was the movie Love, statistically speaking. But then you have another one in the evening.
Yes, this is Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut.
Oh, wow.
Shazam.
Yeah.
And in English, too.
Yeah, and she's directing June Squibb, this amazing actress, in a film called Eleanor the Great. This is the other, maybe not the blockbuster size of Nuremberg, but this is another mainstream Hollywood film that did play in St. Louis for a short run. Again, my unofficial polling, I couldn't find really anyone who had seen it.
Yeah, never heard of it.
And it is, oh my gosh. Okay, one, June Squibb is just outstanding, whether it's the comedy that she brings or just the ethos of the film. But she has a best friend who survived the Holocaust, and they live together, and they're just these two friends who are doing life together. And that best friend, very early on in the film, passes away, and so Eleanor decides to relocate, and she goes to Manhattan and joins a Jewish community center, and starts getting involved with some of their programs. I don't want to give too much away, but the narrative that she shares about who is taken a little bit more from her friend than necessarily her own experience. Ooh. And so there is a pressure point on what is the truth that is starting to build, and the tension is growing. Right. And this is a feel-good film, and it is laugh out loud in many different moments. And it really is about who do we say that we are, and how do we identify with just our own selves. What are the stories that we tell? Why do we tell the certain stories that we tell? And it's just Scarlett Johansson. I've seen her in plenty of films. Yeah. She's quite the heavyweight actress as well. But I think she's just a heavyweight artist. Yeah. Because this film has just artistry stamped all over it.
Is she Jewish? Do we know? Not that it matters, but I'm just wondering. I don't know.
Gosh, Mark, I should absolutely. There's a part of me that wants to say yes.
I want to say that too, but I'm not. Yeah,
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah, I feel like she is, but which would be even better. But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. No. I just wish I should know the answer.
But that's a great thing.
But yeah.
I want to see that for sure.
Oh,
I want to see what she's done with.
Yes, it's
directing. That's neat.
Yes,
that's her first film that she's ever directed.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So much more to come, probably.
Oh, I hope so. If her first film is any indication of the kind of story she wants to tell and the way that she wants to tell them, bring it on. Yeah, this is a fantastic closer to our festival. And that's another purposeful thing that our committee tries to do. What do we want to open with? How do we want to kick this off? What's the arc of the festival? What's the journey? Because we really do have a number of pass holders. We sold out 9 films last year where we had to rent other auditoriums for the overflow, which is just one more call to get your passes, get your tickets, because we have
limits.
Some room right now, definitely limits, and but we're trying to really think about the arc of the festival, and that ending film that's a really coveted spot that our committee looks at.
Now, go into that, John, if you would. Let's get behind the scenes so people can understand, when does the committee meet often? Like, when are you planning next year's? How do you get films? You said you saw, 75 films, something like that?
Yeah.
Gosh, where do you have the time to find?
I don't know.
That's your job.
Right.
So I guess you have to do that. That's a tough one, Mark.
Yeah.
That's a hard one. Watch 75 films?
Yeah, sometimes at work I have to
a lot of popcorn.
Get some coffee and start watching movies in my office. It's boring, but it's my life.
So you sit around the table and watch it? Do you watch them individually? Do you rate them? How do you rate them? What's your scale? What do you?
And what kind of popcorn do you like? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I used to be a big butter fan, but I don't do the buttered popcorn anymore.
Yeah, see, that happens when you get older.
Yeah, you just start to back off some of the excess.
Yeah.
So how this works is I'm the main person that is contacting a bevy of international and national distributors. A lot of them can reach out to you, but you also form relationships with them, and you can reach out to them. And you also have websites that you can peruse. It's really good to look at what San Francisco Jewish Film Festival, Atlanta Jewish Film Festival are doing, some of the bigger ones, and you start to hear certain titles that are resonating throughout the zeitgeist of one particular year. But what happens as far as the process is we have about a 15-person committee, but a 5-person screening committee. So the screening committee is going to watch all 75 to 80 films, and there's some where you're really trying to tough it out just in case the film turns. Sometimes a film that isn't a great 20 minutes ends up being a film that makes it into the film festival just because it turned a corner and it was amazing. So you got to stick with them. So the screening committee, they all get the Olympic gold. They're watching everything to the end. And then they will forward to the larger committee a number of films every month. Here's what we're thinking is worthy of consideration.
And when is this during the year?
So our festival right now, happening at the end of this week in March, by April we'll start watching film again.
Wow.
And we will watch through, we will try and have a final discussion about the festival either mid-December or early January, because we've got to get ahead of the marketing materials.
Right.
The films that we choose, I've got to now confirm that those are going to be available with the distributors. I've got to pay our fees and all this kind of stuff, and we've got to start the marketing machine, getting this beautiful brochure together, which doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
So from about April to December, maybe early January.
Okay, so they're pushing that out to the rest of the committee, and the committee goes thumbs up, thumbs down.
Everyone has a rubric, okay? I send a sheet out, and they rank in all these different categories, and then we come together once a month with all of our notes, and we just one by one, we discuss films. And in the beginning, it's not necessarily about, oh, this is going to be in the festival. It's this is good enough to hold for future consideration.
Okay.
In those early months, it's more about what are we just saying?
That makes sense.
And so we build a list of about, I'd say, anywhere from a couple of dozen to 30-ish films.
Wow.
That we get into November, December, and we're like, okay, now we need to start thinking about genre, categories, foreign films with subtitles versus English, and start like narrowing those 30 down to those final 12. And what will often happen in the month after the film festival, we're looking at some of those films that got left on the cutting room floor, so to speak, because we do leave some excellent films on the floor for whatever reason.
They didn't fit the titles that you guys came up with or something? Or?
Yeah, it just didn't fit as an overall. It just didn't quite fit. Maybe it was a phenomenal drama. Maybe it was a phenomenal Holocaust drama, but we have 3 of those already. Right. We don't want a 4th. We'll first return to a number of the films that didn't make it that we thought were really worthy and see, do we still want to hold those on for consideration? And then we'll start the process over.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's in addition, as the
Senior
Director of Cultural
Director
Arts,
of Cultural Arts.
You've got the Jewish Book Festival, the Youth Theater, the Theater Unlimited, and the New Jewish Theater.
Yeah.
That you also oversee, right?
Yes.
In your spare time.
In my spare time. Yeah, it is. But you know what? I am either thinking about literature, film, or theater every single day of the week at my job.
That's not a bad thing to think about.
It's really
not
fun. Diversity of just going. And I recently started doing some acting with the New Jewish Theater.
Oh.
And that was like my past. My decades past. I was
brought it back out.
Right.
I was in their season closer, Baskerville, and now I'm in their season opener.
Going to do any fight scenes or anything? You're going to direct those?
Hey, you know what? I just thank you, especially you in the blue. Thank you so much. So I just actually finished doing the fights for Winter Opera's Romeo and Juliet, which just played a little over a week ago. Teaching like trained professional opera singers how to sword fight. That was so much fun.
Yeah, you haven't done that for a while. Because he's a certified fight scene director.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That's why I said that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
So
wow, who knew?
Mainly the fight direction and intimacy direction has been in-house with New Jewish Theater, since that's also at the J, and I work there, and so it's been very easy to collaborate with them and offer the fight choreography stuff. But yeah, just recently did that with Winter Opera. By the way, do you know there are 3 separate operas in St. Louis and opera companies, and they are all fully supported because these 3 are genius. They collaborate. They go on different times of the season so that they can bring in the same audience. Right. Wow. And Winter Opera is my first experience working with one of the opera companies, and everyone at Winter Opera, A+, top-notch people. Amazing.
So we've got Opera Theater St. Louis. We have Union Avenue Opera.
And Winter Opera. Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are ahead of me on this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And the singing is just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Romeo and Juliet as an opera is like phenomenal. Oh my gosh.
I think Opera Theater St. Louis is doing that one again.
That's neat that they collaborate. I think that's important.
And St. Louis is a big, small town.
It is. And you don't see a lot of collaboration like that. I see the same weekends with competing performances on things.
And there's no reason to do that.
No, there isn't any. No, it doesn't take much.
And there's no competition with other film festivals. This is a unique film festival. Every film festival has its, like, what do I want to say, its path.
Yeah.
Its
deal.
What's the word I want?
It's deal.
It's Lane. That's what I'm
Yes.
looking for.
I was about to say Lane because your physical gesture
Right.
was so clear,
I
but
know.
I was like, does he mean something as simple as Lane?
Yeah,
I know.
and
It
every
does.
film festival has its lane that they like to
Yeah.
be in, and the Jewish Film Festival has that. And folks, if you have not been, you need to go. The film festival is March the 15th through the 26th, and you can, don't forget about getting a passport. It's a ticket to a deeper festival experience, and you can get more information, and I'm going to let John go ahead and say all those things because he's more adept at doing that. He's got all these things memorized off the top of his head as I'm flipping through where I wrote my notes.
Yeah, everyone, I just want to, for anyone in the sound of my voice, listen, this is an amazing festival, and I know that sounds like platitudes and hyperbole and whatnot, but honestly, it's the experience. This is what you're coming for. It's phenomenal films that you won't see. Most of these films you won't see anywhere else. And it is such amazing storytelling. The human condition is about storytelling. It's about finding out who we are by entering into stories, being able to talk about how we're affected, what that meant to me, how it's applicable in my own life. You grow as a human being through certain cultural arts experiences. It's, what Hamlet said, hold the mirror up to nature. And that's what happens when you see film. And I just want to advocate for this festival because it is such an incredible human experience. And so please get your All Festival Pass with your passport for free. Get your individual tickets. Come join us, stljewishfilmfestival.org, 314-442-3179.
And it's all at the B&B Theaters in Creve Coeur on Olive. Is that where it is?
That's exactly it.
It's a great place.
Oh, my gosh. They just remodeled 3 years ago. It's our new festival home. We absolutely love it. But don't forget that one-off as we dip our toe into the Midtown area with the Alamo Draft House on Wednesday the 18th with Vindicta.
That's at the Foundry?
At the City Foundry, yeah.
Is that where that is?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been there.
It's great,
really
theater.
cool place.
Very comfortable chairs.
Yeah.
As
You can
John
order
says,
food.
turn off the TV
Yes.
and come out.
And maybe shower?
That would be good. That would be good.
Don't sit on the couch streaming in your underwear, unshowered, like you've been doing since 2020, because that's what we've been programmed to do. Come on, everyone.
Yeah.
Clean up and go out.
That's
Jump
right.
in the shower,
That'd be
put on
good.
some clothes,
That's
and
right.
let's join the human race.
Sit in the dark with your friends, family, and fellow movie lovers, is
Right.
what he says
There you
Yeah.
in his little opening thing here.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see you at the movies.
That's right.
I love these little cliches that John came up with.
He's got them.
He is. He's got it all. This is really exciting. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I want to really see the Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, yeah, Eleanor the Great.
I
Oh,
really,
my gosh.
it's the last movie.
Yes.
But I want to see it. I want to
it's
make
so
it.
good.
Go
make
for
sure-
it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
John,
they all
thanks for
sound
coming
great,
in.
though. Yeah.
Thank you guys. This is like one of my favorite interviews to do every year. I'm so glad you always have me back.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
You guys you're always open to come in. You got something that you need to share, please feel free to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can cut my
And
grass if you want
say-
this summer.
We'll talk off air, Mark.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, Mark.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so I want to do a little mental floss, folks. Sybil Luddington. Never heard of her. Sybil Luddington.
No, I don't know who you're talking
Paul
about.
Revere may be the most famous horseback rider to emerge out of the Revolutionary War, but his efforts actually may have been far surpassed by Sybil Luddington, who at the age of 16 is said to have ridden 40 miles in the rain to sub in local militias after a British attack on Danbury, Connecticut on April 26, 1777. Her ride is believed to have been twice the distance of Paul Revere's, yet she receives a fragment of the attention he does in history classes. Still, she is said to have received a formal thank you from General George Washington after her efforts at the time. Who knew? Sybil Luddington.
Had no idea.
Luddington.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Is it because she's a woman? I don't want to say that.
There we go.
You never know. I hate
Or it's just one of those things about history. Like, how much do we think we actually know about history?
That's for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
what you don't know could fill a book.
And
Yeah.
who was writing the history at the time was the guys.
Right.
Oh yeah, my buddy Paul. Yeah,
My
I bought
buddy
some.
Paul.
I bought some stuff from. I bought some goblets from him one time, so he's going to be in the book.
My buddy Paul. I love that.
Mark, what do you got? Days of the day today.
Oh, I got a couple fun ones. It's National Napping Day. Do you nap?
Sometimes.
Really?
Yes.
Sean, do you nap?
If I have the opportunity for a Saturday nap,
Oh, Saturday. Okay.
I'll take a Saturday nap.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Because you know why? Because I get up so early every single day. You think I can sleep in on the weekend? No, your body is so used to it. So I'm up just as early on the weekend. So Saturday, I might take a nap.
Do a little napping. John F. Kennedy used to nap, 20-minute naps, just like that.
Power nap.
Office. That's it.
Just don't take one at work.
No. National Pack Your Lunch Day. You were going to bring your lunch?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who can afford it? Festival of Life in Cracks Day. I don't know what that is. Okay. Let me see here. International Bagpipe Day. Anybody play the bagpipes here?
Nope.
International Day of Awesomeness.
That's Arnold's Day. That is Arnold's Day.
No, this is Arnold's Day. International Wig Day. I just got to see it. I know.
Got a furrow wig.
I know it's Mario Day today. National Blueberry Popover Day. National Dry Shampoo Day. National Landline Telephone Day.
Oh,
Anybody have a landline still?
No.
I do. It's a fax machine. It's just even worse.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, International Day of Women Judges.
Okay, there you go.
And, National Skirt Day, Salvation Army Day, and the last one is Paper Money Day. Do you have any paper money with you?
I don't carry money.
John, do you have any?
I don't have any. My car is filled with quarters, nickels, and dimes.
Yeah, no pennies, though.
Oh, there's probably a few pennies in there, but those I just throw out the window as I go through the downtown area. I'm just hurling pennies out of my...
Have a penny here and there, I know. Yeah, I don't have any paper money. I got some on my mantle at home if you want to rob my house.
Okay, there you go. His address is...
That's where it is. Honest to goodness, I know.
The job
don't
interview
do it anymore.
The job interview, Mark said, it says on your resume you went to Harvard University, and the interviewee responded, yes, for my cousin's graduation. I'm so poor I rub cologne from magazines on my shirt. And when people say, oh, you smell good, what is that? I say, oh, page 14.
It's terrible stuff.
And lastly, salons have hair on the floor. Garages have oil on the floor. Banks, what is your problem?
Love it.
That's all for this hour, folks. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlintune.com, where you can follow us and leave a review. Thanks to Bob Berthasell for our theme music, our sponsor, Better Rate Mortgage, our guest, John Wilson, and co-host Mark Langston. And we thank you for being a part of our community of curious minds. St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning, walk worthy, and let your light shine. For St. Louis in Tune, I'm Arnold Stricker.